Hi, this is a reflection on lesson 338 in A Course in Miracles, and it says, I am affected only by my thoughts. I am affected only by my thoughts. Oh, this is literally what the whole book has been about this whole time. And here we are near the end of the year. It's like less than 30 lessons left, and it says, I am affected only by my thoughts. I could read the whole lesson here, but it's saying that everyone can be released from fear from the outside because it only comes from the inside, and that is, it only comes from our own thoughts. So this, it's something that I think about a lot. I just paused because it's like, where do I go from here when everything that I feel like is happening in my life, it's like, feels like I'm not doing anything anymore. Like, what has this all been about? Nothing has happened. Everything's happened. I'm doing nothing. I'm doing everything. And it's all seemingly surrounding this, the continual recognition of my thoughts. I am not my thoughts. You are not your thoughts. And that is such a fundamental shift that I feel like that is the foundation of everything, anything you might call a spiritual awakening, or it's almost like it's almost like the fundamental core thing, concept, whatever, that everything else points to, but we dress it up in different language. Spiritual awakening, know thyself, to go beyond identifying with your own thoughts is to know yourself more deeply, the fundamental you. Any Zen practice, right? A lot of Buddhist concepts, the root of all suffering, like, is attachment, and that is based in thought. Like, everything points back. Even if you read like Christian mysticism more so than Christian dogmatism, is that a word? You could read the whole Bible, I bet. I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna say, I bet you could read the whole Bible in terms of thought identification, and everything in there is a metaphor for how to release that. And that's what peace really is. That's what the love of God is. God is the space we go to, the place we go, the essence we feel when we stop identifying with thought. I bet you could read the whole Bible. So, and you could probably read every religious text, right? I feel like that's so core that I am not my thoughts. And then I'm going to go look because I forgot what this title is. I am affected only by my thoughts, right? So that's something that does happen every day to me. So whatever journey I'm on, I don't know what to call it anymore other than a continual loosening of thought identification. It's a slow go. Some days it feels like, when's the last time I had a thought? And some days I'm like, there's no room for anything but thought, right? So it's, no 2 days are the same, and I don't know where this is leading. Now, hopefully it's leading to more of those days where it's like no identification with thoughts are happening. And then everything just spontaneously arises, and I'm in complete flow in the moment, and I only speak when something needs to be spoken in a form of usefulness in my material world, and it's so that's kind of like the happening that's happening, or the non-happening that's not happening. So, and I'm affected only by my thoughts is so true. When I even feel like my physical reactions or my physical sensations, if I feel something that feels a little uncomfortable in my body, I've been going back to say, okay, was there a thought that preceded that sensation? More often than not, I can find it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was one of those ruminating thoughts. That was one of those, the book Course in Miracles talks about like attack thoughts. Like, oh, I'm going into this situation. It's like armoring up kind of thoughts, pre-attack thoughts. There's usually some sort of negative, like a flavor of negativity in the thought, even if it's not overtly negative or harmful. There's something that is not very peaceful in the thought that precedes most or all of my like discomfort sensations. So truly, I am affected only by my thoughts. And you might, like, I hear people say like, oh, they made me feel this way. Oh, they did this thing and it really hurt my feelings. And it's like, well, that's us giving up complete power to that, see the perspective of the other person, having all this power over us to make us feel a certain way. And we know now, I hope we know by now, that's just fundamentally not true. It's we choose how to feel. We choose how to feel. And sometimes it doesn't feel like a choice, and that's called a reaction. But we are saying, oh, I'm allowing myself to take that in a way that hurts me. And we have a choice. We have complete control, complete agency over, I'm not going to let that affect me because that says more about them than it does me. Like we've talked about this a lot. I don't need to go into all that. But that's just more about how I am only affected by my thoughts. And that is how, by continually I'm talking about my own journey of like continually recognizing how thoughts are creating my discomforts and how positive thoughts of love are creating my comforts, the good sensations, is a way for me to continually reinforce that, knowing that anytime I feel anything, it's never about the other person. Literally never. Ever, never, ever, never, never, ever. It is about me and what's going on inside, and therefore I have complete control over, am I going to react? Am I not? What am I going to take in? What am I going to protect against? Like, I'm not going to take in negative stimuli, right? I want to only take in the good stuff. So I'm not going to watch the murder shows or the news and all that stuff, because I know those things that I allow to come into me affect my thoughts. And then that is the only thing that hurts me, my own thoughts. So I really liked this lesson for many, 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 many reasons. And really, to me, it's at the core of all the suffering in the world. I don't like to talk in extremes, but that one, I feel like thoughts might be all the suffering in the world stem from thoughts, thought identification, thinking we are our thoughts, believing our thoughts. You don't have to believe your thoughts. I was talking with family about this recently. You don't have to believe a thought. Our thoughts are silly. They're dumb. And it doesn't mean you're dumb. Our thoughts are dumb. They're just not made of this. Nothing. And I'm to try to see thoughts for what they are is such a oh wow, a relief. They're not me. I am the me that can witness the thoughts that come and go. So I feel like that is this lesson is everything. It should, and it actually is. If you read between the lines of all the lessons, it's in there. It's in almost every single lesson. Thought identification and loosening that hold, that identifying. I don't know another word, but it means finding the you in every thought, where there's no space between the you think you are and the thought. So, I got to go. My client's here. Bye.